All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today, and we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic we are going to talk about the Model S and the Model X and how pricing is just going a little bit out of control right now. Of course, they've added the free supercharging. It seems like they might have glitched and given it to a lot of people as well, but probably it's going to be taken away. But we're going to talk about it plus a variety of different topics. But if you're just joining in, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, so thanks for watching and thanks for jumping in. My name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get the best Tesla buying guide out there that has lists to all the different credit union rates that are all better than Tesla financing. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. And shout out to my latest Patreon members. We got Leah, Jason, Daniel, and Joey. Joey just spoke to you earlier today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting. And so let us get into it. We are back home. You can tell we are back at the setup. So thank you all for the support while we were in Japan and going through all the different travel streams and things like that. But let us get into it. I know I'm a little bit late on this news, which is fine, but it's okay because we were on a plane back home, getting back to the home studio, the home setup. So shout out to Kilowatts. I saw this tweet. Several new on Model S and owners are reporting that their Tesla app is indicating that they're getting free supercharging for 3 years on Model S and Model X. And funnily enough, I did check my Tesla app right after that for the Model X that we have. And it also said that there was a line that said 3 years of free supercharging. So of course, this is most likely some sort of glitch for that, and really is probably going to be used for anybody that has a pending order for a Model S or a Model X. But a slight change of hand yesterday when they started to roll out these price increases for the Model S and the Model X. Basically across the board, they were increased by $2,500, but then you also was able to get 3 years of unlimited supercharging. So the valuation on an unlimited supercharging, it's a lot for sure, because about 10,000 miles of supercharging can be worth anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 depending on where you're at. And if you drive 20,000 miles a year, like probably most people do, or a lot of people do, I know the average is like 12,000, but I feel like in California or most metropolitan areas, you're probably driving 15,000 miles a year on an average. And so that could be worth anywhere from 1,500 to what, 4,500 for 3 years of unlimited supercharging. So they did increase the price by 2,500, but I feel like they increased the price for other reasons. I think they're trying to signal a lot of people out there that might potentially have Model S or Model X orders that are kind of waiting for whatever reason, waiting for hardware for or any sort of new technology. They're probably trying to incentivize people to try and get them to take delivery ASAP by kind of doing like a sleight of hand, saying like, hey, you're going to get unlimited supercharging for 3 years, but the value of the price of the Model S and X has gone up. Now you're still going to get that older locked in price that you have. So it's a really good deal now. So you should probably take delivery ASAP. And so right now they're also trying to incentivize the current Model S and X and owners. Like if you didn't know, there is a Tesla loyalty program, loyalty department, which is good news for anybody, because I really feel like Tesla should institute some sort of loyalty trade-in, trade-up program for Model 3, especially older Model 3 owners that have bought it when it first came out, 2017, 2018, and also Model Y, people that want to trade up to a Model Y from a Model 3, like they should offer something, because they can instill value on vehicles. I mean, I say easily they can, but who knows if they really can easily, but they could just buy in vehicles, offer a higher trade-in and value amount, and then just add on full self-driving, $15,000 in valuation. And then if it sells onto the used, because they can sell them used, and people will buy that up because of that added extra valuation on top of that. And it'll be an added bonus because there'll be more full self-driving vehicles on the road more vehicles that they can testing, gather data, and all that stuff. But basically right here, breaking from sorry merit, current Tesla Model S and Model X owners with active free unlimited supercharging are eligible for 6 years of unlimited supercharging, but they must trade in their current or remove limited supercharging from their vehicle and take delivery of their new Model S or X by June 30th of 2023. And so the key date here is, of course, as we talk about on this channel a lot, is Tesla works in quarterly fashions, and June 30th of 2023 is the end of the second quarter. And so that is going to be the next time to buy a car, to buy a Tesla. It's going to be the best time because Tesla's probably going to release all the different incentives, maybe even future price drops, maybe free supercharging for Model 3 and Model Y. Of course, they're definitely going to do demo discounts. And on top of that, they're definitely going to do option credit. They're going to pull out all the stops and all the tricks because, as you know, as we talk about on this channel a lot, as inventory keeps going higher, incentives will start to trickle out and roll out. But we're going to talk about inventory in a little bit. But pretty cool stuff. At least that, you know, this is, it seems like Tesla is going in a cycle, you know, fashion, right? Like they used to have unlimited supercharging for Model S and Model X owners, and it is certainly back again for the Model S and Model X. And so, you know, I kind of wish we waited, but at the same time, we were able to get it earlier and a decent price, because now with the new prices, the Tesla Model X, it's kind of like increased in valuation, but I feel like this is just like, what do they call it in stocks? Like a dead cat balance where the valuation goes up a little bit just to try to incentivize people, because these are just weird numbers like 97,490 and 107,490. This is just going to come right back down in my opinion, because they're going to try these, you know, sleight of hand gestures or tricks to try and incentivize people to take delivery, and it's probably not going to work because if inventory is still probably going to stay high, because at the end of the day, a Model S and Model X, they're expensive vehicles out there. And so that at the price points that they're at, there's really not a lot of buyers out there. And so you can see there's 1,053 Model X's available for sale. This is waitfortesla.com. I would definitely recommend you go to this website to see if there's inventory out there. And then Model S, 313 Model S's available, and a good healthy amount are demo status, which you get that extra discount. You can see right here, 79 demo status vehicles for the Model S. And jumping back to the Model X, so there's probably a good amount of demo status for, let's see here, 249 demo status vehicles for the Model X. And so it's not, this has kind of been the same trend for a while. Model S and Model X, good amount of inventory. So let me know what your thoughts, let me know what you're thinking. If you're buying a Model S and Model X, unfortunately the price did go up a little bit, but supercharging could be valued at a little bit more than $2,500. But if you've locked in a price and you've been stalling, it might be worth it to try and take delivery ASAP and lock down. But I kind of still think at the end of the day, if you can wait till June will be the best time or a great time in the near future to buy any Tesla for that matter, because it's the end of the second quarter. And also, I mean, basically the end of every single quarter is going to be a good time to buy a Tesla at any point, any model, Model 3, Y, S, or even X. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which is the best Tesla buying guide out there, that has links to all the credit unions and banks out there that are all better than Tesla financing, all better than Tesla's 5.59%. Some of them as low as 2.99 to 3.7%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description, the Patreon link. Thanks for joining in, everybody. We are back, comfortable. I got to get used to this setup because it's a little bit different, right, with this camera and the microphone. But Michael, Powell, Wayne, Shane, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming back to support. We've got a handful of topics, and then we'll get, of course, to the live stream chat where you can ask anything you want, and we will answer it. And, of course, there's a lot of helpful people out there as well that everybody will try and chime in and answer any questions that you got as well. But in this next topic, Tesla inventory is out of control. So there was recent price cuts, as you know, as you've probably monitored, because the Model Y got a recent price cut of $3,000 and the Model 3 just to stand range by like $2,000. But Tesla inventory is out of control. Model 3 inventory has started to go crazy, and Model Y maybe in a different direction. So we'll talk about my thoughts on what potentially might be happening. But let me know your thoughts on it as well. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. So just to recap quickly, just a few days ago, another price drop on the Model Y, or even I don't even know at this day. All my days are jumbled up. But Model Y, negative minus $3,000 across the board. And so Model Y is definitely a good bargain right now, especially if you factor in the $7,500 federal tax credit. I would say most buyers that if you get approved for financing on a $50,000, $60,000 car, you're going to get some sort of benefit, or most of the benefit of the $7,500 tax credit back. But around the threshold, or the threshold to get the full $7,500 is around $75,000 in W-2 income. That's where you have the liability to get the refund back. But these prices across the board, $46,990 for a Model Y all-wheel drive standard range, that's pretty good if you need like a good workhorse daily driver. Model Y long range, if you do a lot of road trips, $49,990 after the $7,500 federal tax rate, really decent, good deal. And of course, Model Y Performance, really good deal in my opinion, because this is the lowest price the Model Y Performance has ever been, ever. I mean, the last price at $56,990 was already the lowest price at that point, and now it is down to $53,990. Factor in the $7,500 federal tax credit, and you're sitting pretty nice at the purchase price or the effective price of what you're actually going to be paying for the vehicle. And just to think, like the Model Y Performance, not that long ago, not even like 6 months ago, was priced at $70,000. Like, just to think about that, like I feel really bad for anybody that has paid that higher price, or anybody that's paid a price last year. But it's insane how bad Tesla has just devalued or dropped the price of all their vehicles right off the bat across the board, especially with the Model Y. What went up really high in price has come basically crashing down to I don't even know what the bottom is at this point. So that's why I posted this tweet. I thought it was funny, like all the other EVs vehicles lost their tax credit, like we're talking Rivian, I think Volkswagen, and a handful of others, and Tesla's acting like they lost it too with those most recent price drops. And so I added Elon, where's the bottom? Because it seems like the team, and they seem to want to go, they need volume, they want to sell more vehicles, so they'll go to any sort of price if they want to. And so we talk about this $7,500 federal tax credit, and there is a way to get your financing looped in so that you defer a portion of that $7,500. And the way to do that is actually Tenet. Shout out to Tenet for sponsoring a portion of our videos this month, but link down below for Tenet. Tenet allows you to defer a portion of your loan all the way to the end, maybe say that $7,500 federal tax rate. That results in a lower monthly payment because you can defer it. So there is a strategy where you use Tenet, get that deferment out. It's good if you need more cash flow for your month, good for businesses. And then when you get that $7,500 federal tax rate next year, you can pay off the Tenet loan and then refinance the whole thing with the credit union. Hopefully credit unions will be at a lower rate later than that. So that definitely is a strategy if you want a low monthly payment. So definitely check it out. Tenet, link down below in the description. So, but going back to the Model Y, if we take a look at Model Y inventory as expected, or I don't know if I expected this, but because of these most recent price drops, 3,000 seems to be a healthy number for people to go, oh wow, that actually is a time to buy. There seems to be a massive drop in inventory. You can see right here, there were 606 vehicles and now down to 442 and now down to 419. So we're kind of going back to these times where when prices drops happen, then the inventory would go back down. So we'll start to see and monitor this through the next few weeks to see if demand actually stays at this level with these most recent price drops. I mean, I've had friends text me left and right like, hey, I just bought a Model Y or I just placed an order. And so it seems like there's been a healthy resurgence of people trying to buy a Model Y. But we'll see if this continues to stay at this level. If it starts creeping back up, then we know exactly what is going to happen, and that's going to be more incentives and potentially another price drop. So shout out to Matt Jung and the team for posting this inventory chart for the Model Y. But jumping to the Model 3, we've got an opposite out of control reaction. You can see right here with the Model 3 chart, the Model 3 inventory is starting to go basically to the moon. So let's see if we jump over to the Model 3 side, we can see 651 brand new Model 3s available. And if we switch over to demo status, I bet there's 44, and there's a lot of Model 3 standard ranges rear-wheel drives with discounts across the board. I mean, these are kind of measly discounts. I don't know if I would go for any of these, like 300, 200. My target really is anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 discount on top of that. And so I really wouldn't probably purchase any of these. I'm going to wait probably until the end of June to see if we need another vehicle, but because that's when there's definitely going to be deals, because that's the end of the quarter, end of the second quarter, and that's when it will actually be. But taking a look at this chart, we still are not seeing any sort of long range variant. So maybe Tesla is deciding not to release the Model 3 long range for a while now, and they're most likely at this point, they're going to wait until the new Project Model 3 Highland to release it. Maybe they're just not going to build any of them. They just probably feel like they're going to try and keep to the cheapest one, because most likely people, when they're trying to compare it, they're just going to get the Model Y long range because it's going to be probably about the same effective price at the end of the day. And so definitely makes a lot of sense. But at the end of the day, Tesla inventory is going out of control. Model 3 S and X are going up like crazy, and Model Y took a nice slight dip back down to our usual amount. So typically this pretty much seems like the Model Y is following as it usually is. More people want to buy the Model Y, less than the other vehicles out there. So definitely some interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into our next topic, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, so definitely check it out if you're interested, including getting access to my Tesla buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks out there that all have interest rates lower than Tesla's financing, lower than Tesla's 5.59%, some even as low as 2.99 to 3.7%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. All right. Thanks for joining in, everyone. Let's see who we got. Viewcom, Michael, YouTube Troll, I love it. Shane, Reg, thanks for coming in. We'll get to all the live stream comments because that's the benefit, right? You can come in here and ask anything you want. We'll probably get into it right after our next topic. But it's been an interesting week, that's for sure. A lot of electric vehicle news, a lot of newer topics, vehicles coming out like Polestar 4. I don't know if you guys saw that with having no rear windshield. I don't know if I'm a fan of that, but it's definitely interesting at the end of the day. All these different OEMs coming in. It's good for us because more competition means more price drops, hopefully, and a better valued vehicle at the end of the day. But in this next topic, it seems a study was released and the top selling battery electric vehicle of 2022 were long range variants. And this wasn't a surprise to us because we actually did a poll out there to see what Tesla Model Y or 3 people would actually go for. And a lot more people actually picked the long range one. And I wonder if this is because as people get into the electric vehicle space, they want to kind of go for that longer range. But then I've heard of studies where the second electric vehicle someone gets, they actually go for a shorter range because they get used to the ecosphere of charging and all that stuff. But really, range doesn't really make a difference to me. I would say anything above 300 is good enough, but it is nice to have like 350, 400 mile range at the end of the day. But we'll definitely talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. So let us take a look at this. So shout out to Inside EVs, headline top selling battery electric vehicles in 2022 were long range ones. Most of the best selling models offer more than 300 miles of range in top configurations. So of course this study was done by The Department of Energy Vehicle Technology Office reports that the top 10 new all-electric vehicles by 2022 by the number of registration were the long-range models. So we can see the list right here. Tesla Model Y, no surprise, leading the top of the list. And that makes sense, right? Because it's a SUV-ish vehicle, more space, more value, essentially. And then in number 2 was the Tesla Model 3 at a staggering almost 200,000 units. But I guess, which is weird because if the long range one for the Model 3 was the most sold, then why is Tesla not bringing back the Tesla Model 3 long range just yet? Well, we can probably guess it's because of the new Highland that might be on the cusp or not, might be actually coming out in the near future. But definitely, pretty interesting stuff with that, with the Model 3 coming in at number 2. And then we got number 3, Ford Mach-E, then at a staggering 38,000, or not really staggering 38,000 units. What's interesting to me here is that the Model X and the Model S basically sold almost as much as the Mach-E, I guess if you were to combine the numbers. But then, that's it's good for Mach-E, I guess, to ramp up that many sales in the first couple of years, or at least 2022. And then the list goes down to Chevy Bolt EUV. I'm really not a fan of that, but I know some people would love to have that vehicle. Ioniq 5, I actually like that vehicle, but only because of the free supercharging that it comes with, or free, level 3 charging. And then the Kia EV6, the styling looks a little bit better, but no limited charging. Volkswagen ID4, ID7, that would be cool, but ID4, I'm okay. And then the Rivian R1T, which it will be really interesting to see this list next year, because a lot of these vehicles on this list lost the 7,500 federal tax credit for buying an electric vehicle. So these numbers are going to change a lot. And I think Tesla's dominance for Model Y and Model 3 will probably triple down because of these most recent price drops, because of the doubling down of the 7,500 federal tax credit. I think a lot more people are going to realize how much of a value that is to save that much on your taxes back, and potentially maybe even buy multiple Teslas to save even more on your taxes. Interesting, right? But anyways, definitely some pretty interesting stuff. I think this is not necessarily that new, but definitely, we've been tracking this a little bit because we put a poll out there on the channel. We ask our everybody to see what is the best valuation out there. And here's another most recent one we did: Model 3 standard range at 36,240, or a Model Y standard range at 39,490. Which one would you actually choose? And a staggering 48% said Model Y standard range all-wheel drive. So really a the $3,200 difference. They would go for the Model Y standard range, but 31% said long range version, please. So they'd rather forego either of those and rather pay that extra money for the long range version, which makes sense at the end of the day. Like long range, to conceptually to get that around your head, most people will want that extra long range. And this study actually stuck out to me, or this poll that I put out there. So I asked the question, which one would you rather buy if you had to choose between the two? And I put Model Y standard range all-wheel drive, 279 miles at a price of $50,000, what the old price was. And then Model 3 long range, 330-mile range at like a projected 48 to 49, because that's what they were usually selling for before they completely took them away. And overwhelming 47% said they would choose the Model 3 long range. And most likely because it's that extra amount of range. That's what people want. And so that makes a lot of sense. But I mean, this is probably your first EV, and so that's why you probably want that extra bit of range. But I also think like the cutoff is 300 miles of range. But it's very interesting to kind of pull out there, everybody, like after you buy your first Tesla, would you downgrade to the standard range or keep with the long range? And so we'll probably put that question out there to see what most people will do. But let me know your thoughts. Well, A, would you buy another Tesla? Mostly, probably some of you are being kind of a little salty taste, kind of as I am too, with these most recent price drops. But we knew this was going to kind of come in. At least we've been talking about it. And B, would you buy another Tesla? Would you go with a standard range, long range, or step up to Model S or X, or which that and whichever? But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has the best Tesla buying guide out there, that has links to all the resources that I use, including credit unions and banks that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, lower than Tesla's 5.59%, some even as low as 2.99 to 3.0 1.7%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. And as an added benefit to my Patreon members, I respond to all direct messages or DMs in the Patreon app. If you want to ask me any questions very quickly, one-on-one, anytime that I want you, that we can respond to it. But let's jump into the live stream comments after I drink a Celsius break. It's been crazy. We landed earlier today back from Japan. So thanks for all the support. Thanks for always jumping in, watching whenever we can stream. I know one day we did like a 12 a.m. stream, which was 12 a.m. Pacific. But yeah. Hi, Michael. If you're going to a Laker game, what Tesla would you drive there? I don't know. That's a good question. Any of them? Hope you enjoyed Japan. Thank you, Powell. Thanks for that comment. So we did. It makes me double think a lot of things. Like maybe we should just move to Japan or something. It's definitely a crazy difference of culture between like the Japanese and the Americans, and there's a lot of pride that the Japanese have with like their cleanliness of the streets and just being helpful and everything. How do we feel about the colors on wraps on Tesla? What's a color you've seen out there? Quicksilver? I actually have thought like multiple times if we're getting a like a Nardo wrap or a chalk color wrap. I really like that color, and I've gotten quotes multiple times, but every single time I always double think and back out the last second, because wraps, even though they're nice, they can get pretty expensive because it's not just the initial cost of that $2,500 to $3,000. You also probably have to pay for it to get removed as well. So not necessarily a good thing. At the end of the day, not really that many in inventory. They are shipped to overseas. That's what Elon stated. I mean, there's a lot of Model S and Model X inventory out there. Go and check for yourself the dates. Everything is there. Okay, Shane. Just remember, Elon told all staff check holders last December he is done selling again, like selling profit margin. He wants volume. I think that's what you mean. I think so, yeah. No, it's a silly question, Dennis, but is it worth trading a 2023 model to Model Y long range since due to the price cuts? Sorry, from Model 3 to Model Y. Tough, because valuations have been dropped even more now because these most recent price cuts. But if you can get a good number from your trade then without losing too much money, then it could be worth it. But you gotta go get a trade value and see at the end of the day if it's worth it to you. But could be worth it, especially if you got the tax credit on the other one and you're getting the tax credit on the new one, then it could be worth it at the end of the day. But you gotta do the numbers, or if you want to join the Patreon and send me your numbers, I can try and do an analysis for you and see and help you out. Go and look how many tens of thousands of shares has Elon sold weeks before earnings. He knew it's all there in black and white. The chief officer sold tens of thousands as well. Yeah, I mean, maybe they've got big bills they need to pay, but these next couple of years for Tesla are probably going to be rocky, especially if they're going to continue to keep dropping these prices across the board. I wouldn't take a free AV. A battery will cost you $20,000. Well, that's why you sell it before that battery needs replacements. Tell me about it. I paid $60,000 back in September for my Model 3. Now it's $40K. Yeah, you definitely can't time Tesla, but unfortunately, we're all kind of feeling this pain at the end of the day for it. Viacom, thanks for coming in. Filing to my Model Y long range red delivery today. I have a paint chip off the near headlights. Will they fix it? And if yeah, will they replace the body? Thanks for all the info. Viacom, depending on how big the paint chip is, they will probably replace the whole thing and just repaint the whole thing. But hopefully it doesn't spread, and I would bring that up ASAP. And congrats to you for taking delivery. It seems like you've timed it completely correctly with these new price cuts and everything. And anybody that's just bought a Tesla or is about to buy one, check out our Tesla price parts accessory partners down below for an added extra discount. Since you just saved a bunch of money, now you can save even more money on Tesla part accessories. We got Tamai, Jawa, Tesla, MAGBAK, and 3D Mass USA for premium floor mats for your Tesla. So definitely check it out. All the links are down below in the description. Need to alert them right away and take photos and videos before I started miles driven. Yes, Michael, completely correct. It's a 100-mile threshold, so Viacom definitely go back to the service center ASAP. Tesla now dropping prices, a nod to they have monopolized the sector too long. Now the competition is showing up, and they're ready to lower the take rate of the first EV buyer. Yeah, it seems like there is no bottom. I think like even on that earnings call, Elon did say like or someone said that they are the only manufacturer that can sell at a zero profit. And so him just saying that, a little bit scary, right? So where's the bottom? We have no idea, but they are ready to go to the bottom and sell vehicles at a break even if they want to go here. Here's the tweet from Sawyer Merritt from the earnings call. Elon Musk: Tesla is in a uniquely strong strategic position. We're the only ones making cars that technically we could sell at a zero profit from now, but yield tremendous economics in the future through autonomy. No one else can do that. So definitely crazy stuff, that's for sure. Just take a look at Tesla's stock chart. It's not good. Smart money has known for a while what Tesla is doing. Yes, I haven't even been checking Tesla stocks, but I can't imagine it did not like the price cuts. And it did. It definitely did not. $165. Not too hot for Tesla. Straight up, all I see every day is Toyota CHR. Not sure if it's a hybrid. I think it's a gas car, but I think it could be. I think it's just a gas car. If you had no demand for your product, lower prices may not even help. Yeah, I completely agree. Like at some points, these vehicles, even at whatever price it is, with the financing at 5.59%, it's still going to be a hefty payment. And some people can't actually get over how hefty that payment could be, because at the end of the day, financing a $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 car is still going to be $900, $1,000, $1,100 a month, no matter how you swing it. Yeah, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do right now. It is what it is. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, hopefully I really want Tesla to institute some sort of trade up program where they can add more valuation to vehicles and hopefully get people to trade up. And I think that's what's going to get them more sales throughout the next few years. It's only been 3 weeks and Y is down 5K too. I'm salty. Yeah. Price drops. It's unfortunate with Tesla. It's really hard to time it. Happy Hippo, thanks for coming in. Free supercharging for the Model S and the Model X. And it seems like existing owners are getting some sort of app notification as well in their app where it says it. But who knows if that's actually, it's most likely not going to be released for existing owners, and it's most likely a glitch. But this is good because I can easily see free supercharging coming back for Model 3 and Model Y owners by the end of the second quarter as some sort of incentive or promotion. So it might be a great time to buy in June, I guess, at least relative to what we've seen in the most recent time. Landed back from Japan. You're doing a video, no jet lag. Yeah, we're fine. We took some naps. We'll be good. But thanks for jumping in, Jay-Z. Yeah, we landed earlier today, and now we are live, bringing you the latest incentives in Tesla news. All right, no jet lag. Oh, it's probably gonna hit us. I'm trying to drink a Celsius right now to counteract it, but it should be good. We should be fine. Let's see. We got one last topic, and then we'll probably just finalize out all the different live stream comments that you guys have. Let's see. Where'd my tab go? All right. In our next topic, it looks like Tesla has been identified as the most recalled brand versus the other brands out there. So we'll take a look at it and see what this is actually diving into. But I mean, it seems like Tesla gets these headlines a lot, but I mean, they are a newer manufacturer out there, but that's no excuse at the end of the day. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best CRA Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And so let us take a look at this. Here's the article from Inside EV's headline: Tesla identified as most recalled car brand, Mercedes and Toyota the least. I mean, that's, as expected. Toyota is a very strong brand out there, very reliable. So they should be the least and most reliable out there. But Tesla, it's tough, right? But newer brands, I've always said that Tesla does have a lot of build quality issues. Every Tesla has build quality issue. Every Tesla has paint quality issue. And so it's kind of expected, unfortunately expected at the end of the day. But it seems like a lot of other electric vehicle companies are also getting a lot of flack with the build quality issues with panel gaps and everything like that. But according to a recent study from IC Cars, Tesla is the most recalled car brand. In fact, the publication says that the Model 3 and Model Y S and X secure 4 out of the top 5 top spots of most recalled brands. Porsche has had 4 of the most recalled brands including also has 4 of the most recalled models. Brands including Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Toyota show up as the least list of recalls. And so definitely, here's the list of all the different recalled vehicles out there. We can see Tesla Model Y at 62.4 versus compared to the overall average of 15.6. And so, here is the crazy list of all of them. So we can see here all the different vehicles. Porsche Panamera. I've always thought that vehicle was a pretty unreliable vehicle, but you can see it right here on the list. Most recalls for Porsche Panamera. But I mean, if you have a Tesla, if you're just buying one, just kind of expect it. There is that 100-mile build quality issue where if you take delivery of a vehicle, you can bring up any sort of issues and bring it back to the service center. But at the same time, a lot of these recalls that Tesla releases are software over the update ones. Rarely do we see hardware recalls, and most of them can be fixed with a simple software update at the end of the day. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. I mean, I've had Model 3, Y, S, and now X. And the funny thing with that is I would say the most build quality issue one of the Model 3 Y and S is actually been the Model X, which is, I guess, the most expensive one, and it has the most build quality issues out there. But in terms of recalls, really, there's been bulletproof, and electric vehicles at the end of the day are also very reliable at the end of the day, with not too many bigger problems or maintenance issues or lack of maintenance for those vehicles. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. So definitely check it out if you're interested in supporting the channel. All right. Happy Hippo. Okay, 3 years unlimited is nice. But again, I heard not to supercharge not too much. Good for the battery, but people will still be supercharging every day for 3 years. I don't get that strategy Tesla is doing now. Yeah, and Tesla supercharging is very expensive as well, where it can add up if you don't have a free supercharging plan. But as long as you precondition the supercharger, like as long as you put in the navigation saying you're going to go to a supercharger and the battery heats up, it's not as bad as just like plugging it in for no matter what. Shane, anyway, all the best. I'm over it now. Thanks for coming in, Shane, and all the comments and everything. Paul, welcome back. Thanks for coming in. I haven't seen you in a bit. So true with the prices. Even if they have lowered the prices, the interest rates are ridiculously high, 7 to 9%. I would not even buy this year, even if I was in the market. Yeah, 100%. Tesla's 5.59%. I'm still surprised Tesla has not increased the interest rate for this. I would imagine they were going to go to a 5.99%, but still kind of just at this low price right now. It is a glitch. It does not work. You still get charged if you go. Thanks, Wayne, for pointing that out. I was wondering about that. Why do you think Tesla didn't lower the price on the Model 3 Performance? They even lowered it on the Model Y Performance. Almost makes 0 sense to buy a Model 3 Performance now. Yeah, it is kind of weird, right? Like, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to force people into buying a Model 3 Performance. But at that point, then you're right. People would just buy a Model Y Performance, get more extra room. But I guess there are some diehard people out there that want the, that coupe-ish feeling, that sports sedan feeling, and they'd rather get this, which is more lower and handles probably a lot better than a Model Y Performance. There's almost 50% of Americans that will never buy an electric vehicle. If Tesla can't convince them, they will need to keep their current customers to continue these kinds of sales. Yeah, you're completely right. This is getting into a dangerous game with Tesla price drops where it will hurt brand loyalty and brand equity, but maybe they'll increase more purchasers at the end of the day as well. This price changing is awful. I bought a Performance at $57,990 and now it's $53,990. How low will they go? Is Tesla not as great as the hype? Are their cars the next Kia? It used to be a luxury brand. Rob, yeah, I would say, they've ridden on that luxury brand hype for a while, but people are starting to realize it is not actually a luxury vehicle at all. And maybe even Model S and X are kind of on the line of Model S of luxury, but even those could be questionable in terms of true luxury build quality. But luxury technology, Tesla kind of destroys everyone else. Not 50%, it's 41%. What do you mean by that? I just received full self-driving beta. Will be available in an upcoming software release. Does that mean I get beta this month? Because my subscription runs out tomorrow and I've had it for 2 months, no beta. Bradley, you should be able to get it next month. I would even say try and email them. I think there's an email for Tesla full self-driving to see if you can get it earlier than later. But I guess you might have to continue with the subscription before you can get the actual beta at the end of the day. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for jumping in. Definitely check out, if you just bought a Tesla, check out our Tesla part accessory partners down below in the description. Get an extra discount on Tamai, Jawa, Tesloid, MAGBAK, and 3D Mats USA. And if you want to support the channel, check out the Patreon link down below if you want to get access to my Tesla buying guide, which has links to all the links that I use to get the best deal on a Tesla, including financing that has better than Tesla financing at 5.59%. Some even as low as 2.9 to 3.74%. 3.74% for thanks for jumping in, everyone. Thanks for hitting the like button. Probably gonna go to sleep now because we're jet lagged, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time.